Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is the Living World of Darkness, the Rage Across New York venue. Tonight we find ourselves in the umbral reflection of the Sept of the Green, in a place of tranquility, a place of peace, a place where those who follow Unicorn come to pay their respects to their totem, and those who don't perhaps come to find peace and tranquility in this world of rage and anger. Balian has moved into the umbral reflection of the Sept, and he is looking for one person. He's been received word from his Silverfang superior, if you will, the eldest Silverfang on Sept currently, Jacob, that William White is aware of his request to speak to him, and he has been cleared to go and attempt to speak to him. So he has been searching around for William. He at first thought to, as it is easy to find someone at their cabin, he also did not feel like that was probably the best situation, as he would see it as, Balian would see it as respecting the territory of another. He did not want to do that by disrespecting it, and so he waited. He had heard from 10 Point, the Omega of his pack, that William does spend time at the Unicorn Shrine, both in the Umbra and in the Tellurian, and upon not finding him in the Tellurian, he crossed over into the Umbra and is approaching, not stealthily, he's not hiding the fact that he's approaching, but he's also not approaching loudly as if to interrupt anything that might be happening there.
As Balian approaches, he can see the figure of Will. Obviously, he looks very distinct in the Umbra, his spirit heritage and his connection to the brood of the Glade children shining through. And he can see that he is pruning and tending to a umbral reflection of, if he's been to the Shrine of Unicorn in the Tellurian, he will see that there is an olive tree, a small sapling olive tree that Will planted quite a few months ago now. And yeah, he's essentially pruning to it. It is awakened, and there is a kind of small, weak spirit of the sapling. But yeah, and just kind of, yeah, generally taking the time to be quiet and peaceful, which is something Will values, for it is scarce for him around the Shrine of Unicorn. And yeah, if you approach and Will sees you coming, yeah, Will is going to, he actually knew this was going to happen. Jacob told him basically, and Will actually said he didn't want to meet Balian, and then Jacob basically said, well, he's going to find you, and Will was like, right, fine. And yeah, so I guess he will just continue what he's doing, although he's obviously seen Balian.
Is he, what was he actually doing? Is he just kind of tending to the spirit, or you said he's kind of being quiet? Is he just kind of sitting there meditating, or?
No, he'll be interacting with the spirit. Actually, I believe olive plants are I think they're slightly different to Glade children. I think they actually have their own spirit. But okay. Yeah, he'll basically be interacting with this spirit, and yeah, at the time until Balian comes, and then he'll kind of say to it, and he'll just sit in front of the Shrine of Unicorn at that point.
Does Will have spirit speech?
Will does have spirit speech, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Balian has no idea what he's saying in spirit.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. So will be communicating through yeah, hand gestures and kind of noises that sound like trees creaking, but more through things Balian won't be able to sense at all, like imagery and that sort of thing.
Okay. Balian won't immediately engage Will. He will first go to the Shrine of Unicorn and will manifest a point of gnosis and offer it to the shrine. And then he'll close his eyes and lower his head, and he will basically make an offering to Unicorn in the hopes of this being a peaceful resolution, or one way or the other. And then he will simply sit at the edge of the shrine. If Will takes notice of him, if he doesn't, if he seems to be ignoring him, then he will sit there. If Will takes notice of him, then he will drop to a knee and show respect as is due the foster rank that Will holds.
Will clearly doesn't want Balian here. That's quite obvious. Although it would be very, very bad if he turned someone away from the shrine of Unicorn. Unicorn is inclusive and loving of all of Gaia's children. And yeah, he clearly is in two minds about this. And then eventually he will he'll kind of stand up and he'll walk over to Balian and he'll say, "You aware you're in violation of the Truth Catcher's order, right?"
You kind of look up at him and say, "I was not made aware of any orders regarding myself."
The Truth Catcher said our pacts weren't to interact until this matter was done with.
I see. As this is part of a challenge, and he just kind of sits there and lets that hang. If you do not wish to speak to me, then I will leave. I do not wish to make anyone violate orders. However, the time has come for this to end. And it seems like the main personages that are able to do so are here.
Will looks pissed off and looks again to Unicorn Shrine, and you hear him basically say under his breath, the amendment to the litany that the children of Gaia add, which is bring peace wherever you can, and he whispers that under his breath. Fine. What did Jacob say?
Jacob said that I should come to you and we should have a discussion, or however you wish it to be handled, that I should attempt to entreat upon you to agree that I am deserving of the rank of foster.
So why did you say you're here to make peace among our packs?
Because first, that needs to happen.
If you're telling me you would have come to see me to make peace between our packs, if you hadn't had an ulterior motive of gaining the rank of foster, then I think you're full of shit.
He kind of looks over to the Shrine of Unicorn and looks back at you. Do you think I would come here and lie to you in front of your own tribe's totem?
I don't think it's beneath you. Would you have? Truthfully, if Jacob hadn't told you to come, would you be here right now?
The plans were in the making for me to come and speak with you, yes. Would have been right now? I can't say. However, in speaking with the Truth Catcher myself and others, it had been made aware to me that this needed to end. So, is the timing pushed up because of Jacob's order? Yes.
So you need to convince me that I think you should have the rank of Foster.
That was Jacob's request. But before that, as I said before, there is a issue between us. I think I know at least part of it, but I would hear from your own words what you feel is the issue between us, you and I. Or is it simply with our packs? Is it simply a tribal thing? Or is there an issue between William White and Bailey and Krause? And if so, what is it?
The issue between us is obvious. You're a backwards, bigoted, little old world shit. That everything you stand for, I hate. You take pleasure in being cruel to those too weak to fight back. And then when you encounter a problem with someone you can fight, that could fight back, myself, for example, you write cowardly letters to the truth catcher. I know you've had a problem with things I've done, but giving the bow to 10 point, and you've never, ever said anything to my face.
Well, let's start with the bow. Was that your fault that 10 point used the bow after you gave it to her? Was it your intent to deceive her into using the bow so that she would gain my ire, knowing that I was trying to teach her a lesson in following orders?
I gave 10 point an option.
Mm-hmm.
And she took it. I didn't mean to deceive her. I would have thought it was fairly obvious that any gift that comes from the Glade Children was from me. And if she wasn't sure where this manufactured bow was from, it's not like the Glade Children went and bought a bow off the internet, is it? Then she could have simply asked them and found out.
All true. So,
but the reason I did it
mm-hmm.
is because you treat her like shit. And she doesn't deserve that. And I know why you do that.
Please
Because
enlighten me.
certain people on this set, your pack mainly, seem to take a weird pleasure in putting Metis down, putting them in their place, as you put it. But I think the actual reason is in that fight where you broke her bow, 10 point quite effectively took out one of those elementals, and you did fuck all. Would you say that's accurate?
Actually, you have that backwards, my friend. Her arrows did nothing to those elementals, and my claws struck and hit home.
Out of character, I'm pretty sure that's not what happened.
Out of character, it is. Her arrows did no damage, and Balian's claws actually did.
Are you thinking of this defending against the spiders? Because 10 point definitely killed one of the earth elementals that was in the scene Rob ran.
Oh, I don't even know if I was in that scene. Anyway, we have scenes mixed up. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Let's
okay.
pass over that one.
Sure. So why do you think we treat Metis like we do?
Look, mate, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not interested in this challenge. I'm actually not interested in having this fucking circular discussion. We both believe different things. And I think there's a lot of truth in you talk about doing things the right way and stuff. Aiden does the same. But right, yesterday, you didn't show me the respect I was deserved as a foster. You called me Raya, but you didn't show throw. You've not done so now. I think you enjoy being traditional and acting that way when it benefits you.
Now, he did say, I did say that he went to one knee and showed proper respect.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you did. Sorry.
It's
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, he will amend it. I think you only do it because you need something from me.
As I said before, the challenge pushed the timetable for this up. However, it did need to happen. As my auspice's job, as your auspice is to fight, my auspice is to, one of the pieces of my auspice is to be a peacekeeper.
But you didn't yesterday, did you? In fact, when I tried to stop your sadistic attempts to get Joe to beat on your pack mate, you argued with me about it.
There was no joke. That was an attempt at training. And again, this goes back to our differences in opinion about Metis, which is why I started there.
But it shouldn't matter our differences of opinion if you are like you say you are. If our opinions come into contrast, I'm a foster, you're a Cliff, that shouldn't matter to you.
And did I yield? I did.
You did when I made the point that this is how it was going to be. Now, you see, with me, I think the whole thing is, well, I think it's a bit stupid. I think people can make wrong decisions no matter what rank they are. Although I must admit, I'm coming to appreciate it more.
And that's definitely something we agree on. Rank does not oblige one to make perfect decisions every time.
I don't really want to have this conversation with you. You need to tell Jacob to get you a new challenge.
Whether you want to have this conversation or not with me, it's a conversation that needs to be had eventually one day, as was made apparent to me by Jacob himself. There will be a day when you and I are on the battlefield together fighting the worm. And this does not need to stand between us. So if you wish me to leave, you order me to leave, I will leave. And you do not wish to talk about this, I will not talk about it.
Okay.
However, it's something that needs to be talked about eventually.
You asked me to put it to you why there's an issue between us and our pack, and I'll tell you. I follow Unicorn. Now, some people may think that peace is simply people not fighting. That's not the case. Peace cannot exist without justice, and peace cannot exist while people are angry and offended. My pack has been insulted by Aiden. He's lied to us. He left us, and then he's treated that we're upset that he's leaving as some kind of joke. He mocks us. He calls me Mr. Salty because somebody who I call brother, who I was there for, has turned their back on me, and I'm not supposed to be angry about this. Now, I know what I did with Aiden wasn't the best way to deal with it, and I regret that, and I've tried to make amends. But peace cannot exist while people have been insulted and while the insulting parties take no responsibility for what happened. Do you agree, considering it is one of the main jobs of the Philodox auspice to maintain a unity and peace and justice within the nation?
That is one of the jobs of the Philodox, is to maintain justice as seen by the litany in the nation. Now, in regards to his leaving your pack, I am not fully aware of his intentions when he joined your pack. I'm not fully aware of his intentions when he left. I do know that he just decided to join our pack. That is between he and us. That is our pack.
No,
Now,
it's not.
as far
Because
as
when he chose to join your pack, he was part of my pack. Now,
and that's
actually,
your pack's business.
I don't want to care. Well, I mean, I imagine I know why he joined your pack. It's people that he is close to, people who, you know, you all share the same stupid backwards opinions. And that's fine. You know, you can all fucking jerk each other off in a circle while you beat 10 point. That's fine. But if you don't think that I'm going to be angry that he left us for you, then he needs to realize that. He needs to realize that we are angry for a just reason. And that he's the cause of it.
You're angry for the reason that you're angry because he left.
Of course we're angry because he left. And then we're even more
Okay.
angry that he doesn't seem to understand why we're angry. He doesn't care. And that when we voice this anger to him, he mocks us and acts like we're being unreasonable. He made a rite of contrition to our pack totem, but he has done nothing to make any form of amends to the pack members.
Now, was that something that he was told to do?
He shouldn't need to be told to do it.
It's not necessarily a traditional thing. Was it something that you requested? And I'm not trying to pick nits here. I'm attempting to get to the resolution of this. If you did not make it, well, I understand. One moment. If you did not tell him that you wanted personal contrition, and he was not ordered to, and it's not a traditional thing that's done, then how would he know that he needed to do it?
One reason might be that me and my pack mates numerous times made attempt to. We knew there was tension in our pack. There's been tension in our pack before. And we made numerous attempts to make it up to him. The first time I gave him information on his father, the apologies we gave, the right of contrition Talatahine attempted to do that he said he would refuse, and my pack alpha's attempts to mediate and asking Jacob if he has a problem to come to her so they can sort it out. None of these were done. And yet he is happy to blame our pack for what happened, like it was our fault he left. Now, I'm not saying we're blameless. Of course, when people argue, there's everyone's involved. But he left, and he left our pack in disarray because of that. Feelings of guilt because he's leaving for certain people. And feelings of anger in others. So yeah, that's why we have a problem. And you can argue the toss about whether we should be angry, whether we have a right. But the fact is we were angry.
You're absolutely right. Arguing whether you have a right to be angry is spitting in the wind. There is no reason for it. You are angry, and that is the point. Now, at this point, it has gotten to the point to where a molehill has become a mountain. Blows have been struck.
You think that our pack's anger at one of our pack mates leaving someone we call brother is a molehill?
I'm saying it started small and became larger because of the events.
Well, it looks like he's getting increasingly angry.
And I'm not speaking in reference directly to him leaving your pack. You stated that there were problems before. Were these problems small things because you stated that they were, if I'm not mistaken, that they were things that you had come to each other as a pack. And again, this is your pack's business. So if you wish me to stay out, I would absolutely will. However, you expressed them, so I'm deliberating on them.
There were obvious problems because of the tensions between the Fianna and the Pure tribes.
Right.
And other issues. I don't think Aiden could take the fact that there was a Metis as our beta.
And this is tradition and feelings that have been going on for hundreds of years. This is not something that we're going to be able to fix.
Wrong. Not. This is not the case. Despite what you quote unquote traditionalists say, my pack, my tribe, has acted with mercy and understanding towards the Metis breed for millennia. So don't act like I'm coming along some kind of new age homid that's just made all this shit up. Mule is part of Unicorn, and he points at Unicorn Shrine. Unicorn's brood. Heroes of our tribe have been of the Metis breed. Heroes of every tribe have been of the Metis breed. We just choose to acknowledge them.
Heroes of every
Traditionalist
tribe.
bullshit.
And Metis can become heroes. It is generally post-mortem. But they do become heroes.
We're done with this conversation. You can leave.
Fair enough. He'll turn and he will offer.
Tell Jacob to find you another challenge.
He will offer obedience to Unicorn again, and he will stand up and he will walk away. Unless,
okay, sorry, go on.
wait, does Will have anything else?
No, Will is going to sit there very angrily, especially at the last point that Metis are only valuable in death. And yeah, I think we can call that scene.
Okay. All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.